I'm not quite sure what to talk about right now, so I'm just gonna freestyle this and see what happens. I think a lot of cool things will come out of it. Let's see what I got floating around in my subconscious, unconscious mind. I believe that like we uh, we have to like the place that we draw from to create the words coming out of our mouths and like to create as artists in general, whether it's like on a canvas or with our words with an instrument or sculpting or whatever it is. Actually, I don't know about sculpting. I never really sculpted before. I believe that it all has to like most of it or like throughout our lives, the experiences we collect and the skills we develop, they start to like radiate something beautiful. And sometimes like two different ingredients like will radiate into like one and create its own unique color. Like I don't know, let's say you have like a yellow experience and then you have a blue skill, and together they make like a green, whatever it is, a green art. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. There's a dog barking outside. It's pretty trippy, like being at home so much lately. And I've been like doing my best to make the most of everything. I'm still like I struggle with like waking up in the morning, but I don't like beat myself up too much about it anymore because I know that I'm just like being super productive with my time. It's really important, like just understanding the value of your time has been a game changer to me. Like we just like doing like one little thing every day, like one, like I don't know, like kind of like brushing your teeth every day. Like it's just so important and it's so like essential. Or maybe something more like I don't know, like working out every day or stretching every day or just like you know what I mean, doing that thing for your body every day that's gonna maintain this vehicle, this like fleshy machines that we have. And then like over time that all builds up. Like all the good stuff is gonna be like working for your favor, and then all anything that you may be neglecting or is you know what I mean, like toxic, that all builds up too. So like I let me know what you guys do to stay aware of those things. Like I mean I feel like I've done a lot of like work and research on myself to really like analyze what's negative and toxic and let go of those things, and then also like cultivate things that I feel are good or that like are going to help me get to where I want to go or help me feel the things that I want to feel. Definitely like meditation is super freaking important. Like taking that time to sit in stillness and in silence. Like those are the moments that like God speaks to you, or you may feel like, I don't know, if you don't believe in God, you may feel like just a profound sense of peace that we can always tap into no matter what it is. Like, and it's within us and it's always here. And we have like we just have this like huge store of peace and tranquility inside of us. And like if to anybody that may feel like anxious sometimes or whatever it is, like that's inside of you, and it wants to be there, and it like it's part of all of us. It's part of what makes us human. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. There's a dude walking, running down the street. I put up my arms like, yeah, dude. So honestly, like I'm not sure really why I'm making these podcasts. Like I but it's like calling to me to create these, and I decided to like I'm challenging myself to release one a day for this month. So like it's just like just something like a creative goal for myself. I I make videos for a living, so it's pretty cool. Maybe it's just this other creative expression that my being is finding. Like you have some kind of input on like the way you express things, but that expression, like the thing that expresses us is like I feel it. Or as far as like what's going on with these podcasts, like it's just there's like a desire there that this wants to be done and this wants to be made. I don't know. Do you guys ever question like why, like, or I don't know, like so like my musicians out there, like you make a song, or like sometimes you're working on a song and then you just already like know what's gonna happen next, and that's but there's like a moment where you have to like get out of the way, like you let it like flow, like through you, around you, or whatever it is, to let it do its thing. And it's like you're there to like facilitate and to like lead this thing, but it's like you already, there's like a knowing that's there. It's pretty, like that's one of the aspects that I feel like music is really spiritual, because is there's like this really like ethereal quality to it. It's just like, I don't know, like it's freaking beautiful and like pure, but then also it's just interesting. Like it's like this blend of something that's like super pure, just like the vibrations in the air, and then also like the experience that you have to, or like the, you know, the act of doing to bring that thing from like the formless floating around into this realm of form. So I'm I'm having a lot of like really good friends on this podcast, and I'm really grateful for all of you that are listening and speaking with me. I'm grateful to have the means to be able to make these things. So the camera can't see, but I have like my friend's artwork in front of me on this side. It's really inspiring. It's really inspiring to look at. Dang, I got crap in my throat. And this is like really interesting, just kind of speaking to myself, or like speaking to the camera to you guys. Like I do this like when I record music, like writing or rapping, singing. So it's just like it's similar, but it's still different. Like I'm going out of my comfort zone by doing this, and I'm really grateful that I am. One of the things that my mentor Janet says is that going out of your comfort zone isn't is a it's an act of self love, and we definitely grow from it. Like when you expand your comfort zone, you're just able to like experience so much more, to do more things, and I think that's really important. You know what I mean? Like that's super freaking valuable to do. And we talked about it on one of these podcasts. I think Chris, he I was we were talking about how just like doing something intentionally going doing something uncomfortable that you don't really want to do is just like it's good for your mental toughness, and like you train yourself, you program yourself that way. So like when the time comes and you really need to do something that you don't want to do, it's like no big deal. Like it's just a habit to get it done quick kind of thing. Another cool thing that just happens in life is you become like the people you surround yourself with. I'm pretty grateful for all the like beautiful souls that I surround myself with. You know what I mean? Like you can choose who to have in your life and who to keep in your friend group, who to have close to you, and who, you know what I mean, to spend less time less time with. Like sometimes it's hard, it's difficult to, you know what I mean, like push away someone that you may love, or you know what I mean, just like stop talking to them the same way that you did. But sometimes it's just like super necessary. So I'm doing my best to like kick it with cool people. And you know what I mean? Like I'm really grateful. I work with cool people. I live with cool people. I make music with cool people. And I just want to keep growing that way. So one of my values is growth, and that's like one of the things that drives me is like how is this gonna make me grow? And I also like think like you know what I mean? Like I intentionally do things that I feel will grow me. And that's like in any kind of capacity, just like grow my skills or just like grow myself. I like consider myself a like a video game character, or at least like that's like a fun way to to look at my life that I think about my life is like if you play RPGs, you have um you have like the different skills, the different attributes, and like just like depending on the way you play the game, the way that you life in the game, then like certain skills go up and other ones don't. So I just know that like I have like a music skill that every time you play music, then that one's gonna go up. So it's just kind of a way to like catalog and categorize and like actualize the way that I'm living my life, and it makes it pretty freaking fun too. Like life's not so serious, you know what I'm saying? It's sometimes it's you can make it a video game. It's just important to be lighthearted about certain things. My heart feels very light. I totally love that you're breathing right now, by the way. Maybe I can turn this into an ASMR. I don't know what to do. I never really listened to those things. I watched a funny one with the clown barber once. I don't know if the mic is picking this up. We'll see how that turns out. So like something that I just realized right now is how how important it is to be open, how important it is to be open to experimentation and the way that it like I incorporate that in my creative process. Like experimenting is one of the things that helps you discover, and it's a really cool feeling to like discover new things, you know what I mean? Like creating something that wasn't there before. And just like you can like put together two totally unrelated things or like seemingly unrelated things, and then all of a sudden it makes this this other thing. That seems to be a theme that I realized in my um what is it called? My mannerisms, looking on the screen, putting two things together and creating something else. I feel like a lot of my early life has been figuring out the right way to think. Like what how does one think? Like I used to feel like one thing I say often is I feel like an alien learning how to be human. Because some of like the human tendencies seem alien to me, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I'm also like a weird dude, so whatever. I want to stop talking about myself, but I don't really know what else to talk about. Maybe I can tell like a cool story or something. Mm, what's the story? I I was jumping up and down in the other room a little earlier. So like you can change the way you feel by changing the way your body moves. So like if you put your arms up in a power pose, then that like makes you feel powerful and confident and determined. And that's like really that's one technique to do like before you maybe go on stage or you go into an interview or even just like every day, just like put your arms up in triumph that you've you've like survived the night and you're here to live another beautiful day. Like if you're hunched over and you know what I mean, like kind of curled up, that's like a defensive position. So that's what your physiology expresses, like that comes from, or that has a direct like relationship with like the feelings that you're feeling and the thoughts that you're thinking. I mean, like I'm not a scientist, but there's there's like science and studies out there for it. It's good to like question things too. Like don't maybe not don't believe everything that I say. I mean, not that you would or not. You're like probably developed enough to think your own thoughts and feel your own feelings. And I'm just this dude doing me over here. Oh wow. Honestly, like I don't really talk that often. So like the most that I've spoken so far is right now here into this mic. Let me know how I'm doing. God, I'm grateful for this laughter. I'm doing this to like kind of like warm up myself for this next guest that I'm gonna have on, and then also um kind of just doing this to see what happens, like that experimentation that I was talking about earlier. Like there used to be a reluctance for me to like post creations online, but now like you know what I mean, like it just I'm starting to care less. That's pretty cool. I think there's just power in that. Shouts out my homie Zach Valadon. I don't know if it's going to be reversed in the mirror, but it says pretty well. I can talk about Zach too. I'm checking out my tattoos. But yeah, um, Zach's one of my best friends. Like he's been, we met in high school, and we were on the wrestling team together. And then we became a band, or he joined our band, Tracking David. So we have a long history together. And maybe like if you know me, like you probably know him. I'm not sure like why we get along so well. Like why it's so easy to talk to him, like why it's so easy to love him. I'm grateful for it though. He uh, he definitely inspires me a lot. He's one of the people that I'm really like honored to be able to keep around and blessed to have in my life, the way that I like to know him the way that I do, to have the relationship that I have. He's definitely like growth minded as well. I see him and just like observe him make moves and like do things that I know that are like out of his comfort zone that he's doing to like grow and to like develop, and it's pretty freaking cool. Maybe I'm just projecting what I want to see in myself onto somebody else. Either way, Zach, if you're listening, I love and appreciate you very much. Yo, I'm trying to get my abuela up on here too. She's freaking funny, dog. Like, I'm excited. On my, oh, dude. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what happens. She's really charismatic. Like, even if you don't like understand Spanish, I'm sure it's gonna be like really, really entertaining. She's a character. She's just so like animated and like so like full like a full of life. And it's like a little tiny Latina lady. So we'll see. I'm in a band called Plan Your Escape, and they're literally my favorite band. Like it was a like it was a dream come true to join this band that I'm in. It because they have like before I joined and when I would go watch them live, they just had like this like magic on stage, and like I knew like that's the caliber that I want to be at. Like that's like the energy that I want to have in my life. That's what that's what I want to be doing. And then I was like with those like specific people too. So it was really cool because like we were friends for a while, and I got to go like watch them play. Like they one cool concert was that it was like at a hotel in Long Beach, I think. So like the band, I rode with like I don't know like 8 people in an SUV or something like that, and it was just cool. Like I never really had gone on a trip with like a bunch of guys that like the same music. So it was a really awesome adventure, and like I it was a cool, it was a cool concert. I'm not sure where I was like really going with that, but it's all good. Yo, it's super important to stay hydrated. I love water. I don't know if I'm gonna like keep all this in or cut it out, like the spots where I'm not talking. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is all like maybe okay, so that's probably the what it is. This is all just a big experiment. Like me making this podcast, I'm experimenting. That's like the drive behind it. Like that's the reason. And the goal is to upload one every day for this month of April in 2020. I like it. I I also think that this is like charging up my like a certain like the like all the creative energy that I'm putting into this. I would normally be like oh dang. Sorry if you're I heard your ear or anything. I hit the mic. So all this like creative energy I would normally be like putting into music or a lot of it. So I think like this is like charging up my musical batteries or like it's like me like harvesting new ingredients that I can use to like make a recipe of songs or like a recipe book of songs. I don't know. Just like a bunch of maybe they're not even going to be songs. Like I've been making music for with my friend Aaron Cabrero Jr. and oh yeah, he was on a couple episodes ago. Yeah, like he's a director and it's cool. Like I made some music for his and like sounds for his movies, and one's coming out called Nox Eterna. I'm pretty stoked. That dude's a trip, dude. He expands my mind every time I speak with him. Hmm. I miss my family right now, definitely with like this like quarantine. It's a trip, like not being able to hug anybody, or you know what I mean, like choosing not to hug anybody for their safety. Kind of sucks. It's all good. This is the season that we're in. And we're I don't know about you, but I'm developing a lot of healthy and useful habits and skills right now. I just got to keep doing them until after this season. Set yourself up for success. Something that Nipsey Hussle used to say was like life is a marathon and every day is a step or something like that. That put my mind at ease in a sense. I used to like trip out on like what the heck, like I'm not at the goal that I know I should be at. I'm not like living life the way I know I can. Kind of like beating myself up a little bit. So then kind of stepping back and seeing the whole race instead of just like fixating on the finish line. I was like, oh, okay, like that's the process. I see it. Yo, it's really important to take care of your bodies. This is the only one we get in this life, on this time, with this time on earth. I don't know, like I've always been like super fascinated with reincarnation and stuff. Like what if we were here before? Like there's like that creepy pasta with the egg. I don't know if y'all know about creepy pasta, but anyways, yeah, there's like in the egg, like the person has like lived every life. And that's a really interesting concept to try on. Like what if you lived everyone's life? Everyone from the person that you see once and never gonna meet again to somebody on the other side of the world that you don't even know, to like the people that are like closest to you in your life. Like you lived every single one of those lives. Like you're able to experience life from every human perspective in some like omniscient way. I think that's the word. Omnipotent, omniscient, like omnipresent. That's the one. Like omnipresent. Omni Omar. So sometimes when I say words, I see like other words that have some kind of relation to that one. So like omni, those like three words that I said, they all start with OM. And it happens to be like the first two letters of my first name. OMAR. So that's pretty cool. The brain does some trippy stuff. Oh my God, that is who you are. That is who you are. Mm. Dang, dude, it's crazy how powerful music is. If you're ever feeling a certain type of way, you want to feel something else, just start singing a song that makes you feel that some type of this, that something else or whatever I just said. Oh, 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 I don't mind singing into a mic like I do it every night. Oh, bump real tight. I'm on fight. I'm on right. Oh, probably turn that into a verse later or something. Okay, so like something that I'm like building up towards is like I just want like ideas to just like fruit off of me, if that makes sense. Like I just want them to just like come out of me like all the time. And then like another thing that I think about along the same vein is people like Kendrick, even when they speak, like they're just like talking, they're like rhyming, and their voice has a certain cadence that seems just is so like musical. I I want to develop something like that. You know who else? Oh, my homie Ian. He had something like that where like he was like super. He's like a drummer. He plays like a bunch of instruments actually, but he like radiates rhythm. Like I don't know. He would like when he would like the top of his like soda can and be like tigga 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 or something like that. Like he always put rhythms and things. Or yeah. So that was pretty cool. It kind of seemed like if he was some kind of like mythical creature, and everywhere he moved, little things would like sparkle around. Like the little like the magical little flares would like it would, like they would like float off of him in the form of rhythms. Shouts out Ian. I want to talk about my homie Josh for a little bit. Yeah, Josh is a trip, but something like very special about Josh is like he's one of the best drummers that I know. And because it's like something else happens when he drums, like you know what I mean, like I'll go on the drums or whatever and it's just like, oh, okay, like it's a beat, but then like he goes on there and it's like it's like enchanted. Like he has like an enchanting quality to his musicianship, very much so. And it's like I it's beautiful to believe that I'm like on stage with that and I get to play music with that. It's like really really awesome. I listened to recordings of him like back in the day, and they inspire me sometimes. Like when I'm like I'll listen to it to like make me feel some type of way before I go into the studio or while I'm in the studio. Music is like music's pretty cool. Like you can it helps me understand life a lot. Just like musical concepts are what my brain seems to like relate things to, or one of the things. Like Buddha had a saying about like if an instrument is too loose, like what happens? The string rattles, and if the string is too tight, it's gonna snap. So if you want to actually like produce like a beautiful melody, all the strings need to be tuned together. Like the same thing that can snap and or just like rattle loosely can also produce a beautiful melody. You just have to find the right the right tuning, the right kind of harmony in your life. So like something cool in Japan was like the culture had a sense of harmony to it. Like it seemed like super, I don't know how to like there's like a flow there. And I mean there's like a flow like here in our society too. But there's like a very efficient kind of flow, and just like things made so much sense. Like looking at the cultural differences. I'm trying to give it let me give an example. Let me come up with one. Let me see. What did I observe? What did I witness? What did I live? What if I'm just speaking what I want to be true? can't think of an example. Oh, just like something like bowing. Like people didn't really shake hands there, or like you don't you wouldn't like touch hands with strangers, if that makes sense, the way that you would in our culture pre-corona. So that was pretty cool. Like just like bowing is like a cool way to basically like shake everyone's hand, if that makes sense. Like you walk into a room, you like give a little nod to everybody, and it's like, oh, okay, like okay, thank you for acknowledging me, kind of thing. Like, all right, cool. So I'd really dug that. Yo, I tried to some funny stuff would happen when I would go to like fist bump people. I like okay, so one of them, oh, we went to a punk show. It was Anti Knock was the venue, and I believe the band was Arubus. I was I went to like fist bump the singer afterwards, and like he was actually cool. Like he knew what to do. He like fist bump and he said like thank you. But then like another time, like I went to fist bump someone at the venue, and they like took it and like kind of shook it, and I was like, oh, thank you very much. Like he gave me like a double-handed handshake, shaking my fist. So that was pretty funny. And then another trippy thing is like this one, I don't know, like you you hand you receive things and give things with two hands instead of one. So that's something trippy that just like is there. I don't know. It was really awesome to just like walk on the sidewalks of Tokyo and Kyoto. Oh, at the hostel we stayed at, one of the hostels we stayed at, we met a couple. We became friends with a couple that wanted they were gonna like name their kid Omar. And I'm like, what? That was tight. And so yeah, it was cool. And then the last day we were there, I was like, oh hey, like something interesting I learned about the name Omar. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I found out that in Japanese it means potty. And then we all start laughing. So my name means like baby toilet in Japanese. And then like the meaning of the name, like Omar, actually means um healthy firstborn and gifted speaker. I think that's pretty freaking tight. Thanks, parents. So I'm little Omar. My dad, like, his middle name is Omar, but he goes by Omar. So I basically like grew up with a rapper name, like Lil Omar. And then my family calls me Omai. Like yeah, the I at the end of it to like endear the phrase, endear the name. So that was cool. I got a bunch of nicknames throughout my life. Lil Omar, Omai. Now I'm Omar the Grateful. But people still call me Omar the Great. I'm totally okay with that. That's like it makes my day when people add the great at the end of it. Like it's already like it feels good when somebody says your name in general, but then like it makes me feel like, oh, all right, like that's the title. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't put too much enjoy the identity too much, but at the same time like I'm savoring it. Oh, yo, I'm doing this like It's like a Yale class that the homegirl Nicole told us about. It's the science of well-being or happy well-being, something like that. And it's basically like it teaches you how to be happy. Like you were learning about the different human like annoying features of the mind and how to overcome those annoying features. So one of them, or like something that I took from the course, is like a hedonic adaptation. Hedonic adaptation. So basically, that's like the concept where when you experience one thing over and over again, you become kind of like you get used to it. You get used to the experience or whatever it is. So the example they gave is um like to the Yale students, like if you the day you wake up and you find out you're going to Yale, that excitement level, that happiness level isn't quite what it's like a couple of years into college. Like you don't wake up like excited to be going to Yale the same way that you were like that first day, the first night. So basically like that's hedonic adaptation, that you get used to something. You get used to like going to Yale. And like we do that with a lot of things. Like we may purchase something that we feel will make us happy, and it does for a little bit, but then we get used to it. And what is actually like provides the most happiness for us are things that are not lasting. So things like vacations or experiences like concerts, like those types of things provide more happiness for us because like something about that it's not permanent. Like we don't experience that hedonic adaptation, and it's not like we put the same amount of like expectation on it. Like I don't know, like maybe like if you like purchase a car and it you expect it to make you happy forever until you like till the entire life of that car. That doesn't, you get used to it over and over again, and it like decreases your like happiness level, like, or you know what I mean? Like it over time it goes down. I don't know, it's a really interesting thing, but one thing that you can do to boost your happiness levels overall is to practice gratitude. So just like writing 5 things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my friends, my family. I'm grateful for this healthy body. Grateful for these glasses. I'm grateful for this space. How many was that? 5. Yeah, so like I'm grateful for this breath, my beating heart. So automatically that puts you in a very powerful state. And the other thing to do is to savor things. Just like if you're gonna like whatever food you're eating, like you gotta like taste it and enjoy it, savor it, step out of the moment for a little bit and just realize like, wow, this is beautiful. And just like like live in it. So like doing these little things throughout the day, throughout your life are super important, super powerful. I don't know exactly how long I'm going to be talking for. That was pretty cool. I'll wrap it up for now. Thanks for letting me speak into your ear. I love you guys.